I think one of the first questions you can ask after any of these films is simply, how did this film make you feel? And looking at Expiration Date, you can go in so many different directions. I mean, the themes it deals with, the themes of divorce, eating disorders, identity, friendships, and how friendships evolve and change over the years. One thing I would ask the students to get things rolling is, how many of you here know what a bucket list is? Could you describe a bucket list? Because some of the things that they're doing in this film are related to kind of ideas or things that they would want to do in life, and that's why they put them in that time capsule kind of bottle. So that's a couple angles you can look at. Another theme in this particular film is the idea of new beginnings and how an ending can be a new beginning. So maybe you could throw out that quote. Someone said that every ending is a new beginning. What does that mean to you? Or how did you see that laid out in the film Expiration Date? Jesus said in the Bible, don't judge others, judge not. What does that mean today? We hear a lot of people talking about judging other people or feeling judged by the way we look or the way we talk or act. Talk about that. That's critical, I think, with people these days. A question I like to ask in almost all these films is, who do you relate to most in this particular film? In Expiration Date, you have Devin and Tim and Margot and Reynolds. Which character do you identify with? Is another common question you can ask after the film. In this particular film, it deals a lot with death. In other words, knowing that someday you will die. We all have an expiration date. How does that affect the way you live right now? Another question I would ask is, if you had a time capsule bottle and could put something in it that you want to do, what would you put in that bottle? And why did you choose that? I would talk about different fears that the characters faced in this particular film. And I think a lot of, one of the great fears is being accepted by others, or the fear of being exposed. And I think that was Margot's big deal when she was asked to have that performance in that music venue. Another theme that it deals with is living in the moment. So many times we're so worried about tomorrow or the next week or the next month that we're not appreciating what's happening right now. The great thing about this film, Expiration Date, is you can take it in so many different directions. So you could really extend this series of this film to get students talking for many, many weeks. And also, too, if you did want to ask for a commitment, because it does deal with the theme of death, but it also deals with the theme of death, I think, in a very life-giving way. In other words, knowing that you're going to die, how do you live now? How do your choices matter? And if there is a God, wouldn't that be the most important choice that you could make or I could make? And that is to try to get to know him. And perhaps this God has some risk and some challenges that we need to take. So be creative and utilize the many different angles and approaches and themes that Expiration Date evokes.